Look Outreach is underwritten by the generous support of Munter Enterprises. Family owned and operated since 1972, integrity is important, as our family name is on every project. Our word is our bond. Munter Enterprises. Just build it.
Welcome back, everyone. Boy, there can be no denying the fact that there are a lot of people in our community here who are politically active, vibrant members of the community, holding fundraisers and doing all kinds of things. Well, lo and behold, recently I met my guest, Pat Friesen, who's since 1999 has been a member of the community and involved in all kinds of things, and particularly passionate about the arts, which we will get into, and has decided to dip her toes into politics and is going to run for Saratoga County Supervisor. Well, first, welcome, Pat. Very nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Second, I say this to anybody who runs for political office, are you crazy? I just want to know.
You have to be a little bit.
Okay, well, you want to know something? That makes politics interesting.
It makes it fun.
Yeah, it does. I also believe, and I've said this before, that I saw a placard when it was a women's march. It was either New York or Washington, D.C., and the placard said, the future is female. Some of that has to do with the recent election. Some of it has to do with just timing, right?
Absolutely.
And whatever.
Absolutely.
So you've been in the community since 1999. Why'd you move here?
Oh my goodness. Well, it was rather serendipitous. I had a home in Charlton and I was putting it on the market and I was moving to Baltimore. I got a contract on a townhouse in Baltimore, and then a couple of my girlfriends drove me through the Saratoga village at Saratoga. They were building homes and it was like, oh my gosh, there's a village. I did 180, put a deposit on a piece of property there, and luckily the contingency contract and my house sold the same day the contingency was up, and
hence the serendipity.
Hence the serendipity.
That's right.
And I built my home there and had my gardens and moved in, and my goal was to be on the Secret Garden Tour. I knew nothing. I didn't know one flower from another, but as of 2011, I was on the Secret Garden Tour.
Well,
so anyway.
Perfect for politics.
Yeah, and I joined Saratoga Arts, used to be the Arts Council
That's right.
immediately.
Yes, right.
And I knew nobody in Saratoga. So I joined Saratoga Arts and got my first newsletter, and there was a flyer in there, a trip to Paris. I had never been to Europe. I go to Europe knowing nobody, and some of my lifelong friends as a result of that trip. So that, again, serendipity, and it's just...
Now, I know, because I run into you a lot when you held a reception and introduced Elizabeth Sobel, the new president of SPAC, to our community.
Yeah.
You're always involved. I keep seeing you at different events and things like that, and a lot of them you sponsor. It seems to me that you're very interested in connecting people.
I love to connect people.
Well, why? I mean, why bother?
That's a good question, because I was a painfully shy child. No one believes that, but I was. But there's something about bringing people together that just excites me. So I've done a number of things. I mean, I have formed book groups. I formed a group of women that they call Pat's Pals, because we got together to have discussions about you name it. I discovered that we needed a bookstore after Borders left. So I wrote a letter and had 50 people sign and beg North Shore to come here.
This, yeah.
And a year later, we had a bookstore.
You know, I talked to Chris about that. That was very influential in he and his wife making the decision to move North Shire Books here. And then, of course, Sonny Bonaccio stepped in and made a space available, as he frequently does in the community. And
Sonny built a building for the bookstore.
Yeah, I know. Truth be told, he had a lot to do with this studio as well.
Did
by the
he?
way.
Yeah,
yes. Now, you learn a lot when you are out in the community like you are. If there's a trait that you feel is most important to you personally in running for political office, what would that trait be?
Listening.
Listening. Oh,
Listening.
isn't that interesting?
Yes, and I am trying to meet with all kinds of people and organizations and hear from them. So I even have every Monday morning at Crew Coffee, 11 to 12, I have Chat with Pat. And I've invited people just to come and tell me what are the issues on their minds. I have things that I'm passionate about. I have things and issues that are great concern to me personally, but I want to hear from people. And I want to integrate what I'm hearing into my own platform, because that's what I will be doing. I will be representing you.
Give me some of the priorities on the platform front then.
Well, there are 3 words that I am using. One is leadership, one is dedication, one is passion. So the dedication is to this community and everything that enriches and enhances and makes it a better community for all. And that is all. I'm talking about everyone from the homeless to those that are,
the entrepreneurs, I guess.
Definitely the entrepreneurs. One of the things that I have become very passionate about is creative industry. And I keep meeting really young, vibrant, brilliant young people that are either moving here or moving back here or never left. And they're taking the risk to open up new businesses and really fun, creative businesses. And can I mention some of them?
Well, no,
maybe not.
Okay. We don't have time today.
That's okay.
But,
I understand. But there are a number of them that are opening and taking that risk. And I am wanting to support them in every way that I can. We've got the new workforce housing projects coming in, and one of them has an incubator. So that is something that I feel strongly is needed in Saratoga. Our incubators where young people can go in, not always younger, but for the most part, and really try out their visions and their creative visions and see where it might go.
Well, you know what? That kind of economic development, you hear this said frequently, it's wonderful when you attract the global founders of the world, but really the lifeblood of any community are those people that know that they can start a business and it's supported by the politicians, it's supported by industry, so that they have an opportunity to grow the economic base of that community. Well, Pat, thank you very much for coming in. The election is in November. There are 2 seats open. 5 people are running for those 2 seats. So we'll have plenty of time to check in with you along the way as you start to really get your feet into this game.
I'm jumping in full force.
Good.
It's www.patforsupervisor.com.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thanks for remembering that.
Yes.
All right, real pleasure to meet you, Pat.
Thank
and look forward to seeing you again.
Oh, thank you, Jesse.
Okay. To see this interview, again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.